Hi everyone, and welcome to another great car here on the CollectorCarCanada.CA Car Reviews Podcast. Today we have a 1961 Triumph TR3, known as TR3 only in the UK, known as the TR3A here on this side of the pond. Refinished in white in the 90s when it underwent an exhaustive restoration. Few miles since, it still looks great. We'll get to that when we do the exterior and interior tours. That Honda white paint is over a red interior with some white piping accents. For now, what we'll do is we'll start it up and then we'll take a listen to the engine and exhaust as we often do on these. I'm also going to shoot the hood release procedure because this one is a blast from the past. It's a little unlike modern cars, certainly, being that it's 63 years old. You can understand why. But yeah, on with the startup and we'll go from there. Wow, nice easy start here for the 61 Triumph. I'll just make sure we've got this shifter in neutral before I climb out. And we do. And I'm just grabbing the tool we need rather, to open up that hood like I was mentioning. And here's how we release the door. I might add that the car does have a soft top, and the side curtains were new with the restoration, if not more recently, and they're quite a robust item. There are photos of the car with them in place and photos of the items themselves in our detailed listing. Again, lot 226 on CollectorCarCanada.CA. For now, I'll come grab the camera and we'll start a handheld camera portion of the video. Okay, another look at this beautiful 1961 Triumph TR3. But before we go over to the hood, I'll just demonstrate the two tools I have clanging around in my hand. So this is the original piece. It's still good for the spare tire compartment, which I'll show you when we do our exterior tour of the car. But it has had some wear over the past 63 years, and this tool is a lot better for releasing the hood, as you're about to see me demonstrate how it's done. So again, I'm not using the factory tool for the hood release. Certainly the two tools both come included with the car, but you can see a little spot for me to fit this tool in, and we release it, pop right up, and as you might guess, there's another on the other side here. And I think that was released as well. Sure is. Okay, great. And then another standard kind of hood latch here to get that up and clear. Away we go. Then there's a prop rod. A little tricky to do with one hand, but it releases like so and drops into place here. So here's a good look at the inline four. Let's take a listen first and then I'll tell you a little bit about it. And the twin carbs. So as the engine's purring, I'll tell you how that originally this car was built with a 1,998cc engine, so just short of 2 liters, 1998cc. As part of the restoration in the 1990s, TR4 pistons and sleeves were fitted, so that's resulted in a moderate increase in displacement. The best way to find out the exact displacement is to look on our detailed listing for the precise figure. I'll tell you right now off the top of my head, it's in the 2138cc range. So probably about a 10% or so increase in displacement going from the stock TR3 pistons and sleeves to the TR4 pistons and sleeves. So one last look at that engine. And let's head back to have a listen to the exhaust back here. Single exhaust with a nice polished tip. So I don't think there's any need for that engine to stay running. So I'm going to cut that down. As you can see, I couldn't really show this when I started the car, but the key's currently sitting in the on position. So I'll kill that. So in addition to having turned the key at the time, I also pushed this. This is the starter button to push to get the car started. So this prop rod's a little trickier to come down just because the catch is so firm. The rubber catch that I'm about to place this rod into, I'm not sure if the camera can see it or not, but I'll handhold it once I get it inside. So there's a good look at the mechanism. The rubber is quite firm. It needs two hands to get that rod inside of the rubber. But as the owner told me, most of them have decayed rubber and they slide right in nowadays, but this one's certainly been replaced. So that's shut, and then of course I got to do the hood closing procedure in reverse to get that down and stay. So we'll put that one in, and I think we have it. Pretty simple once you get used to it. And that one's in as well. Okay, so we're getting later in the day. It looks like we've lost our sun for the glam shots of the car, but it still does look great. Almost all of our shots of the exterior of the car for the photos are in the sun, so nothing to hide in this one. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of this tool for the hood, because I don't need that for the rest of the video. So here we go, another good look at the TR3. It's got its own look, certainly on the front. Lots of chrome bumpers with the two bumperettes. Triumph inscript on the chrome above the grille. And then a TR3 specific badge up here above the Triumph script. So the one flaw I did see in the paint, again, the paint was applied in the 90s, and it's a Honda shade of white. Sorry, I don't have the exact color during the video, but please do refer to the online description of the car, the detailed description of the car online for details on the paint. But there's a slight bit of bubbling right here. We've got a photo of it close up with a Looney coin to demonstrate it. So certainly original style wheels with the chrome covers. There's a set of Michelin XZX tires in place, and they measure 185 SR15. So the old time measurement, making these Michelin XZX a very period correct choice for the tires. Now the current owners had this car, he's been the custodian of this car since 2020, and he noted that the tires went on before his ownership, so we're not sure on age of the tires. Certainly a good look at them tells us they're in pretty darn good condition, but we're not sure of the age. The owner also mentions that outside of the 1,500 or so miles he's driven it, the car has always been stored inside. I'm just gonna put this transmission in gear for the rest of the video. So Pretty smart doors. Nicely functional. No trouble with these old doors. The restoration, despite being in the 90s, still really shows. Sure close there. And we've got, being that the fenders over the rear wheels jut out a bit, they're protected by this, I'll call it a metal gravel guard. It looks like it might be aluminum actually. And then a nice further chrome appointment over the wheel, all the way back to the tail light here. So yeah, really basic looking taillights. I saw the owner with the car with the lights on. You can take a look at our detailed listing. You can see the lights with lights both on and using the brake lights. The old time incandescent look. And then, so no bumper on the rear, just the chrome bumperettes, finished in chrome, as I say, and the matching single exit that's polished as well. Now, around the license plate, you can see a gap in this panel and up above. That's because the spare tire, you need that tool as well. For this one, the original tool still works, but you use that tool through those, and that's where the spare tire is stored horizontally. We do have pictures of it on the detailed listing of it stored, and we pulled the tire out for a good look at it as well. So beautiful paint here with the white. There's another Triumph badge here on the rear of the car. We're making our way around. I skipped the tire on the driver's rear, but here's a good look at the one for a passenger side rear. Again, Michelin XZX with the Steelies and a beautiful chrome finished cap with the Triumph logo of the period with the map of the world, signifying British dominance through the Industrial Revolution, at the start of the Industrial Revolution. Here's another look at one of those gravel guard aluminum protectors for the rear wheel treatment, and the chrome strip that heads back all the way to the trim for the tail lights. Matching low slung door here on the passenger side. I showed it to you on the driver's side, but nice sure open and close here as well. Now you can see these items here, and those are for, I've heard them called racing covers. I've heard them called tonneau covers, but you can see it continues here on the dash. So that's to cover the car without putting the top up during a time of non-use. So that tonneau cover is included with the car. Right now, we have the parade boot in place, and that makes use of the same, I'll call them rivets, to attach the parade boot as would be used for the tonneau cover. I missed this on the driver's side, but these windshield wings, I guess I'll call them, windshield wind wings, complement both the windshield and those side curtains I was mentioning, but adjustable. So being that you can adjust them, you can get the right amount of breeze blowing into the cabin during open air motoring. Nice appointment here, these hinges on both sides. They didn't leave much out with the chrome trim. So we got chrome trim there, as well as chrome trim wiper arms and even wiper blades other than the actual rubber contacts on the blades. So a matching chrome appointment on the front fender like we saw on the rear, coming all the way up to the full bumper here up front, and with the chrome bumperettes. So that's a good look at the exterior of the car. Oh, look at that. The fan just got scared of us and turned off just as we came by. So the car's nice and cool. And let's take a look at the inside of the car. It's not going to take very long. It's a pretty compact little cabin, but it really is in beautiful condition. Probably worth pointing out that this car is equipped with 3-point belts. I'm not going to be able to fasten that, I don't think, with just one hand. But 3-point harnesses. Well, I got it fastened, but I didn't lie. I needed my second hand. 3-point harnesses for both passenger and driver. And these attachments are where those side curtains fit in. So this is a fair weather car, and certainly the owner's only driven it in fair weather. I speculate also that it's been driven only in fair weather since the restoration in the 90s, given its presentation. But it can be driven with the top up and those side curtains in place. Good look at the floor here, and that carpet peels back and we can see a nice clean floor underneath. 3 pedals for the manual transmission, and the bright lights control over there on the left, foot control. But compact little seats, bucket seats. The red vinyl finish still looks great all these years later, and the white piping really does pop, make it pop, really wakes it up, and matches, of course, the beautiful white exterior. This one's a bit of an anachronism. I was teasing the owner a bit about it. He's very traditional in the British cars, but he's managed to fit a cup holder here into the center console. And there's the little shifter, 4-speed manual. And I'm not sure if the camera can see that or not. The keys are kind of getting in my way, but it is Triumph branded up top. Instrumentation by Smiths. The speedometer tops out at 120 miles an hour, while the tach max reading is at 6,000 RPM with a red line of 5,000 RPM. And in the center stack, there are other gauges: coolant temperature, oil, fuel gauge, and a voltmeter. As I say, the knob on the left is for the starter, and there's a choke on the right, and then the center knobs are for controlling the air circulation in the cabin. Rear view mirror sort of mounted on the dash as opposed to hanging down from the top of the windshield. A handle for the passenger's ingress and egress with the small glove box. And there's a little bit of an area here on the rear with a parcel shelf. You can fit a few things in there. I don't know that this is your typical grocery getter, but you can carry a few items. Now we'll get another last look at that parade boot and move to the trunk. Very simple little lever here. Handle just opens up like that. There is a prop rod here. It's going to be a quick look at the trunk. I'm not going to set the prop rod. I had it open earlier. There are photos of the prop rod in place on our detailed listing. The trunk lid, very presentable, no imperfections. And then a carpeted trunk, carpet to match the cabin. Further photos on our detailed listing, as I say. So one more walk around the exterior, and we'll move to some closing thoughts. Really a fine British automobile, very well presented, with the white over the red with white piping. 1961 Triumph TR3 with the 4-speed manual and a Roadster. So that's a good look at our 1961 Triumph TR3 Roadster with 4-speed manual transmission, restored in the 90s, beautifully restored, low miles since, very apparent from the condition it remains in, beautiful condition still, in the hands of the current owner since 2020, and in that time he's done about 1,500 miles. It's going to be lot 226 on CollectorCarCanada.CA. Please take a look at our detailed listing. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is that this car comes with a whole host of parts, which we'll have photographs of in our detailed listing. And the owner's also gone to the trouble of listing them all out. So look for those listed out and itemized on our detailed listing, as well as owner's manuals, parts manuals, service manuals, it's really apparent that that this car has been owned by a lifelong Triumph sports car lover. He used to race Triumphs in the 60s and 70s, and he recently made a friend of the site very happy by selling him directly his 1966 TR4 race car. Those who pay attention to our What We've Seen pages may have noticed it back in February. So again, 1961 Triumph TR3, TR3A on this side of the pond, TR3 in the UK. And again, it came originally with a 1998 cc engine. In the 90s, that was upgraded to TR4 sleeves and pistons. So it's displacing somewhere around 2138 cc's. We'll get that exact number on our detailed listing, or you can just look up factory spec for a TR4, because those are the parts that went into this TR3's engine. That's about all we have to say for this one. Thank you for watching, and on to the next car.